This is incredibly satisfying.
This is the Mavic 4.
DJI's new flagship drone.
2 years we've been waiting.
It is finally here.
Welcome back to Re-Review, where we watch all the reviews so you don't have to. Today we're diving deep into the highly anticipated DJI Mavic 4 Pro. After years of waiting, DJI has unleashed its new flagship, and the reviewers have certainly put it through its paces.
So straight away, you can see the new Mavic 4 Pro is larger, even when folded, and it's also around 100 grams heavier. This is a large, heavy drone.
It's a little bit bigger, not any heavier, doesn't feel any heavier, but it's a little bit bigger than the Mavic 3 Pro. The controller, definitely thicker.
The Mavic 4 Pro is probably one of the quickest drones to deploy. Similar to what we've seen on the DJI Flip, as soon as we unfold it, it's going to automatically go ahead and power on.
Efficiency. Everywhere you look on this drone is evidence of that. The aerodynamic gimbal design, the rounded prop mounts, the wing-like arms, the upward arched body, and so much more.
And actually they have this new sling design to protect it, which promises to be easier than the old push-on plastic clip-in where you kind of got to get it exactly right and kind of fudge it in there. This is just clip on the bottom, stretch it over the top, and you're ready to move.
I'm just not 100% sure about with the drone is this mask that you put on it, which is the protective cover. It's just tricky. I actually feel like the 3 was probably easier to put on.
One of the most talked about features is the new Infinity Gimbal. Let's see what new creative avenues it opens up.
One of the biggest new features of the Infinity Gimbal is that it can now do a complete 360-degree rotation, allowing you to capture some really interesting perspectives.
So you can get really creative shots. You're not limited to just up and down motions. You can get full 360 rolls. So you can get these creative shots, which looks really cool. And at the touch of a button, you just roll that gimbal wheel, and the gimbal will actually rotate now, left or right, whichever way you want it to go.
Fantastic. I mean, this gives you basically the most that we've ever seen as far as control goes. First off, you can turn vertical to do vertical video just with the flick of a switch.
Look how strange this drone looks. It just has such a human-like face to it, but in the strangest way. But this, of course, means that we can now shoot vertical. That opens up quite a lot of options.
Now, while it's great to see true vertical recording on the Mavic 4 Pro, I do have to point out it does have a limitation. You see, when the gimbal rotates, its maximum tilt angle changes to only 9 degrees up or down, which means you can't get shots above a subject looking down.
Another new enhancement of the Infinity Gimbal is that you can now film upwards all the way up to 70 degrees. Not quite straight up, but it's pretty close. And that's going to allow you to get some really interesting perspectives, especially when you're flying under a tree canopy, under a bridge, or around tall buildings.
Beyond the gimbal mechanics, the camera system itself has seen significant upgrades. How does it perform, especially the new main sensor and the improved telephoto lenses?
So the main sensor on here, this is a new 100 megapixel micro four thirds Hasselblad sensor. For camera quality wise, I have never seen quality from photos and videos look this good out of any of the foldable drones. This 6K out of here, it just looks incredible, so sharp.
The main wide-angle Hasselblad camera can now film in a resolution of 6K at 60 frames per second in HDR, and it can also capture 4K 120 slow motion, and it can achieve approximately 16 stops of dynamic range. And that's compared to 12.8 stops of the Mavic 3.
Our suspicions are this is a sensor very similar to the GH7, and they're using a quad Bayer setup, and that's how they're getting that 100 megapixel number.
Now, this new wide-angle camera also has a redesigned large aperture lens, with the aperture being controllable from f11 all the way up to f2.
But the main thing, the real main thing with the main camera is I have seen a significant step change in this camera. You can pull out so much in the shadow details without noise. I can't stress how much an improvement the new main camera is.
But the biggest improvements are in the long range cameras or the tele cameras. We have the 2.5 times, which is an equivalent of 70 millimeters. That's a 1/1/3 sensor, which sees substantial improvements in color science and overall clarity. And then we have a 6 times camera, which I never really found myself using it very much on the Mavic 3 Pro. This has now quickly become my favorite go-to lens for very unique compression shots on the Mavic 4 Pro. And that's a 1/1/5 camera sensor.
Honestly, I feel like this is the first time where having multiple cameras on a drone is actually useful. You could, for real, use each of these. Of course, they're not going to be quite as good as a micro four thirds sensor, but they are so much better than they have been in the past.
And for color profiles, you've got D-Log, D-Log M, HLG, and normal, all in 10-bit, all available on all 3 lenses.
A new drone often means new ways to control it. The DJI RC Pro 2 has garnered a lot of attention.
Now, another big update we got with the launch of the Mavic 4 Pro is the new Pro controller, the DJI RC Pro 2. And this thing is absolutely incredible. It features a 7-inch mini LED screen, and that bigger screen is just beautiful to fly with.
So that screen is a 7-inch screen, 2000 nits. This is 5.5 inch, 700 nits. So you can see it's quite good even on a sunny day like this.
You can see the overall footprint isn't that much larger.
Check this out. So when you fold it up, it instantly boots up for you. But this right here is probably the best thing. Oh, it auto rotates the camera when you're rotating the display.
This is incredibly satisfying. Watch this. On. Drone on. That's fast.
And not only that, these joysticks automatically pop out. You can see as we close it, they fold down in, and when we unfold it, they come out. When the screen is closed, it goes into a sleep mode.
Everything is just so convenient on this controller. Lift up the screen and it's on in about 1 second. The sticks, they're already installed. They just fold up and down with the screen. No more fumbling with trying to install and remove them.
Now, when I saw a lot of like the specs about this, I was worried about how heavy this is going to be and bulky. But it's basically like an RC2 with a built-in screen. And for that, it doesn't mean it's super heavy and cumbersome.
Impressive cameras and controllers are great, but how does the Mavic 4 Pro actually fly, and how long can it stay in the air?
Add to that a 95 watt-hour battery, and you have the longest flying and fastest flying drone in this category.
So the Mavic 4 Pro comes with a completely new redesigned battery, giving you 51 minutes of flight time. And I would say out of any of the different DJI drones, this is the most accurate. When flying this in normal photos and videos mode, I was getting easily 45 plus minutes out of each one of these batteries.
Trust me, in sport mode, this thing rips through the air. You can cover a lot of ground fast. And in terms of wind resistance, it's equally fantastic, capable of handling wind speeds up to 12 meters per second.
When it comes to flight performance, considering the speed, it's supposed to be able to fly 60 miles per hour. Even with a tailwind, the fastest I could get was 55 miles per hour. Normal mode, I got it up to 40 miles per hour, and that's what it was claimed to do.
And with this new parallel charging hub, you're going to be able to charge all 3 of these batteries with the DJI new fast charger in 90 minutes. 90 minutes for all 3.
They now have a new 240 watt charger that when connected to the charging hub can charge all 3 batteries simultaneously. You can charge a single battery in 51 minutes.
Flying these advanced drones requires robust safety systems. Let's look at the Mavic 4 Pro's obstacle avoidance and tracking capabilities.
The Mavic 4 Pro got a significant update when it comes to obstacle avoidance and its obstacle avoidance sensors. You can see we have an all new setup. We have 3 cameras, high resolution cameras at the top here, and we have 3 high resolution cameras there at the bottom.
Now on the front of the right arm, you've got a front-facing LiDAR sensor. This works in conjunction with the low-light vision sensors all around the drone.
And then on the right arm, right on the front here, you can barely see it, but this is where the LiDAR sensor is, which can function in lighting of 0.1 lux. Now I tested this the other night, and it performed just as it claims. That is impressive.
The Mavic 4 can now see and detect smaller obstacles all the way down to as small as 2 centimeters in diameter. So while really fine twigs or branches or power lines are still going to be an issue, it will pick up some smaller obstacles the previous model struggled with.
There's all these cameras on the drone now.
They essentially give you another camera angle. This auto switches whatever direction that we're flying. So if we're orbiting to the right, it gives us a camera feed. Oh, we see that tree. We can fly over that tree, not hit the tree.
Because if it has all these sensors and has improved active track, you sure as hell know that we got to do a test. Now we're going to do a little bit of a run, see if it follows us. Whoop. Come on. Here we go. Still on us? I don't know. Let's hope so. No crash. Oh, you're there. Wow. Okay. I gotta say, like, the feeling that I got right now is that this has got to be the best active track that I've tried as of yet.
It's claimed to be able to recognize a vehicle from 200 meters or about 650 feet away. The drone was recognizing vehicles that were over 900 feet away. But I will say that its ability to recognize a trackable subject is quite a bit better than the Air 3S.
With all these features, storage and value for money are key considerations.
In terms of the microSD card, this drone has internal storage. So firstly, there's the standard Mavic 4 Pro, which comes with 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and this also comes with the DJI RC2 controller. There's also a Fly More combo, which includes 2 extra batteries, or the top combo I have here called the Creator combo. This version gets bumped up to 512 gigabytes of internal storage.
I just love that every time. I think every camera till the end of time should have built-in storage. That is a must.
Now with the previous Mavic 3 Pro, there was a Cine edition, which had access to Apple ProRes. And it's a similar story with the Mavic 4, with this Creator version having an additional codec available. But this has been changed to All-I.
You know, before, say, H.265 now it's got All-I video compression. Of course, that's going to make your file sizes bigger.
But All-I is not like ProRes. It's not RAW.
No.
It's just All-I.
So this is a compression format similar to ProRes that uses less compression, and therefore can have a slightly better image quality.
And yes, this drone costs a lot of money. I actually don't know exactly how much, but I know it's a lot of money. Actually, that is way more affordable than I thought. I didn't know the price at this point. That's way cheaper than the Mavic 3 Pro. Okay, we don't have ProRes, but did we ever really need it?
So who is a Mavic 4 Pro actually for? It's for someone who makes money with their drone. You might be using this for your business, for content creation, somebody who actually is going to get a return, and you want the utmost quality without spending $15,000 on Inspire 3.
So after sifting through hours of reviews, the DJI Mavic 4 Pro clearly positions itself as a powerhouse. The upgraded camera system, particularly the new Micro Four Thirds sensor, offers enhanced dynamic range and low light performance, alongside genuinely more usable telephoto lenses. The innovative Infinity Gimbal, with its full 360 rotation and improved upward tilt, certainly unlocks new creative possibilities, even if the true vertical mode comes with some tilt range limitations. The RC Pro 2 controller is almost universally praised for its rapid deployment, incredibly bright screen, and the convenience of integrated auto-deploying joysticks, making the entire flight experience much smoother. Flight time seems to be tangible improvement, and the significantly faster multi-battery charging with that 240-watt system is a major boon to professionals. Obstacle avoidance also appears more robust and capable in challenging lighting, thanks to the new sensor array and the inclusion of LiDAR. However, it's physically larger and heavier drone. The new gimbal cover design has also received mixed first impressions regarding the ease of use, and while the All-I codec in the Creator combo offers high-quality recording, the absence of Apple ProRes might be a point of discussion for some specific workflows, though many reviewers now question if it was even truly essential for this class of drone given the advancements of H.265 and D-Log. Ultimately, the Mavic 4 Pro seems best suited for serious hobbyists or professionals who demand top-tier versatile image quality and a refined, robust flight experience without needing to step up to much larger and more expensive Inspire series. If you're already deep into the Mavic 3 ecosystem, the decision to upgrade will hinge on how much you value and significantly improve telephoto usability, the unique gimbal functionalities, and the much lauded RC Pro 2 experience. For those seeking the current pinnacle of prosumer drone technology, the Mavic 4 Pro makes a very compelling case, especially with a launch price that many found surprisingly more accessible than its predecessor. That's it for our ultimate roundup review of the DJI Mavic 4 Pro. Please find links to full videos below and come back for more re-reviews where we watch old reviews so you don't have to.